Hi, everybody. It's Alicia, and I'm here with the one and only Layton. Layton, say
Hey
hi.
guys.
Looking fabulous as always. She's like, I'm so glad that you decided to join us here once again. Every time I ask you if we can interview you, you always say yes. So thank you for that.
No problem. I'm always ready to spread the word.
I know you are. I know. And I love that about you. And talking about spreading the word, you were recently interviewed in the Sunday Gleaner. How was that? How'd you feel? I mean, you've been in the newspaper before, but this interview I thought was really well done. What do you think about it?
All right, so it's a good feeling because I'm always up to spread the word. So when somebody from the Gleaner messaged me and said they wanted to find out more about what I'm doing, so I responded to them and said, yes, of course, I'm excited. I would love to. It was a great interview, yeah.
It was a great interview. For those who did not read the article, Layton, can you talk about your story? Because I thought that the article was so strong and emotional. Seriously, when I read it to my dad and I was like crying in the beginning. It was so strong and emotional when it talked about your story and what you've gone through and the adoption and all of it. Start from the beginning, lead us back through your story, especially for the people that missed the article.
I'm already getting emotional. I don't know, I get emotional so easy when I remember everything. So my story began, of course, I worked in a wholesale for 7 years. But while in the wholesale, I had 2 kids, right? And when I was 17, I had the first one. I had the second one when I was 19. But sorry, I'm just getting emotional. I had the second one when I was 19, right? But then I realized that the money that I'm working in the wholesale is not making any sense. It's not able to provide for me. It's not able to provide for my children properly. Of course, their father was there, but like any other dad, he's not making a lot of money. And as a mom, you want to give your child a good life. You want them to have the best life. So after I was there, upon the 7th year, I made up my mind that I have to do something different. So I stepped out and went searching for a next job, and I got a sales rep job, right? And I was making some money as a sales rep, but then I was like, what if one day I don't have this sales rep job anymore? So that's when I went searching. I went on the internet and decided that I'm going to get a job that I can stay at home and make some money. Right, so I came up on Internet Income Jamaica, of which Alicia is CEO. Yes. And I called them and they said, come in, we'll teach you according to your skills and whatever you're passionate about. I'm like, I don't have any skills. I don't know anything. I've been working in a wholesale for like 7 whole years. All I do is like pack shelves. Yeah. All I do is like pack shelf and do a little cashiering. I don't know anything else. And they say, come in anyways. I didn't have the money either. I actually borrowed the money from my landlady. God bless her, so she lends me, right? I came to the class. I didn't even have a laptop either. When I came to the class, I had to rent a laptop to use in the class. That's how desperate I was. I really wanted this. I really wanted this to work for me because I wanted a better life. I came to the class, of course, and in the class, Alicia told us about different skills, but however, one of those skills was transcription. And she said that transcription is basically listening to audios and videos and typing it out. And I'm like, I can listen and I can type, so I must be able to do this. So I went ahead and I created my Fiverr profile like they taught me to. I was there for over a month and no jobs. So I was like, wow, I wasted my money. I had to pay back the landlady and still I'm not making any money as yet. Right, the second month, still no jobs. So I had actually given up. I was like, oh, that money just gone down the drain and just call it a day. But then in the second month, I got a message. Somebody messaged me, can you do transcription? And I was like, sure, I've never done it before, but I had an idea that listening and typing, so I must be able to do it.
Right.
However, it was a Jamaican, of course, and she guided me on how to do transcription. And one day I was doing so good. One day she looked at me, messaged me, and said, "Don't worry, you'll be able to start your business the way I'm doing it now." And me and that lady, we've remained friends up till today. Yeah. So it's been quite a journey, and I love every minute of it.
You know, and I love every minute that you're in this journey and that I get to spend it with you. Now, part of the article that really touched me was you talked about the fact that you, like, sometimes people think that they need some special skills or a college degree or, you know, to have good grades in high school or not saying that we don't, I mean, we have some people who are professors and lawyers that are
Yeah, and teachers.
teachers, you know, that are working online, but we also have people with a 7th grade education and no high school diploma who are doing well with it as well. I think the difference is it's those people who really want it that are
Yes.
successful for it. That's what it is. It's like the desire, right? The hunger
Yes.
down inside. Now, when you were talking about your story and what we read in the newspaper, you talked about, you know, your mom couldn't provide for you, so she had actually given you up for adoption to a wonderful lady who has taken great care of you. And then you talked also about living in such bad conditions at the side of the gully. Tell me about where you lived. I hadn't heard that before. And as I was reading that, that's when I started tearing up. I want to hear more about that.
All right. So initially, I'm from the country in Clarendon, right? So when I not graduated, when I left high school in 11th grade, I decided that I was going to look a job. I got the wholesale job. However, I don't know anybody uptown, and my brother was downtown living in the ghetto. So he invited me to come and stay with him in his little small room with his baby mother and his baby. So you know that was very terrible. That was before I had my child. All right. So it didn't work out with me and my brother. So I went out and I met this guy, and we started dating. And he's the kid's father, right? So I had to find somewhere to stay. So I was, my brother gave me a little room over in a ghetto called Craigtown, right? The room was, I don't know if I should call it a room, but you know, there's no other name for it. So this room was, it was off block and off board. There was zinc on the top, but however, it was a very, very old building. So you know, this zinc was like a lot of holes in the zinc and stuff like that. And we were living like right on the gully bank. Like I could just look through the window and look over into the gully. And in the ghetto, people throw their rubbish in the gully, right? So you know, all that scent is coming up to us. And I had to bear it. When rainfall, there's a big hole in the ceiling. Whenever the rainfall, I had to put everything to one side, and me and the kids curl up on the little bed over one side. Like it didn't make sense to set a bucket because it was just falling everywhere over one side. So I'm coming from a very desperate situation. Just me, I've been there. People see me now, they have no idea what I've been through, but I've been through a lot, right? It was very terrible. I didn't even have a bathroom. It was a good thing that I normally go out and work every day. So I used to use the bathroom where I used to work. So there was no proper sanitation, but I got through it. I decided that I wanted something better and I went for it. Yeah.
I love that. You decided that you wanted something better and you went for it. So you said that you didn't even have a bathroom, Leighton. So you went to the bathroom where you worked. What about the kids? Where did they go to the bathroom? Just
All right. So the kids were I normally carry them to the creche. Yeah.
what a story, huh?
Yeah.
When you look back on that and, you know, fast forward for just 1 minute, I want to go back to your story. But when you look on that and you see now that you have bought your own land, you've built your own mansion, as they wrote about you in the paper before, and you now have a physical business with computers, and you have a shipping company. And it was not even that long ago. How do you feel about yourself and your desire for success?
Yeah.
Try.
Every time even when I was doing the interview, I began tearing up because the part when I remember that I never had clothes for me and my kids. I had to wash like in the middle of the week, else I whenever I look back and remember, I just get so emotional. Whenever I look back and remember where I'm coming from, I just it just hit me and I get very emotional about it. I try not to cry, but I just can't help it.
It's okay. You're making
It's
me.
just it's such a journey. It's a very long journey. And if I've learned anything, and I've learned a lot, is that in life you have to want more. Even though people look down on you and you may think that you're not going to achieve anything, you don't have the proper education, so you think that you're not going to ever be somebody, don't give up. Because if I had given up, where would I be? Where would my kids be? What would I have, right? So in life, we have to just push through and don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. Because if I was listening to other persons, I wouldn't have achieved anything. Well, because the fact that I left school without even graduating or getting a certificate, everybody will put you down just like that, and they will call you a cross and all sort of names. And even after having my 2 kids, I could have given up and be like, "What else is there for me?" Right? I just have 2 kids. I don't have anything else. But I never gave up, and I don't want anybody to give up despite their situation, because I've been there. I've been through so much. I've been through the abuses by men. I've been to police stations many times. I've been through a lot, but at the end of the day, I have never given up, and I'm not giving up. I guess these things teach you how strong you are too. They teach you how strong of a person you can be when you're faced with certain situations. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. And
Yeah.
I will tell you that you're such an inspiration for, I want to say women, but both men and women, but especially as a woman, when women hear your story and that you took it upon yourself to create, a better life for you and your kids, it's just such a beautiful story. And when you think about where you came from, and I can tell that you so vividly remember that room that you lived in.
Yes, yes, I remember it as if I was in. I remember it very, very clearly.
And
yes,
knowing you, the most emotional part was probably looking at your kids every night and seeing where they had to live, wasn't it?
Yes, I was always upset when I was in that house. Always upset. It's terrible, terrible. It's not terrible living. It was terrible. I don't know how I got through it, but I am smiling.
You're smiling. I know. And we all have our stories about where we've come from or what we've gone through, but your story is one of constant. If somebody was to get your story when you were 19 years old with these 2 kids, and the situation that you were in, and hearing that you were abandoned by your mother, adopted, teen mom, living on the gully side, working in a wholesale, they wouldn't think that you, a few years later, would be a woman who bought her own land, built her own house, got her own business, is on her own 2 feet. I loved, you sent me a message one time and you were like, you didn't have to struggle to pay your kids' school fee. You paid it all at once, and you paid. Remember that?
Yes, I remember.
It's the best feeling. I paid it all at once, and I paid it.
I know. Yes. I know I can buy a lot of clothes.
I know you do, and you're fashionista all of the time. Every time I see you, I'm like, that is a new outfit. Every outfit is new. And I know that you're definitely living your best life. And For those listening to this right now, I just want you to click that share button and share this on your page. Mention someone in the comments who this interview would inspire them, and change their life. I often say that the internet is the great equalizer, right? So a lot of times locally, it's going to be very hard for you to get a job that could provide enough money for you to buy your land, buy your house at such a young age.
True, true.
But, locally in Jamaica, they look, employers look at, what's your past experience? What were your grades in high school? Where's your diploma? Where's your marks? What college did you go to? And you had none of that, right? Which is why you were just working at a wholesale. But the internet became the great equalizer, because on the internet, have any of your clients asked you to show your high school diploma or your
No,
degree, right?
no. They just want to know that I'm able to do the job and they're good with that.
It's all about you being able to do the job and they're good with it. And, it's about the reviews and the business that you build on the internet. So tell us, what are you doing on the internet to make money? What are you doing? How are you making your money on the internet?
All right, so I'm making a ton load of money as a transcriber. And of course, a transcriber is a person who listens to audios or videos and type them out. It's that easy, and people pay money for that. A lot of money for that. Yes.
So for example, I'm going to take this interview that we're doing right now, and I'm going to send it to you so that you can get it.
Yes.
Now that means that you're going to type it up. So someone who's watching, let's say Jessette, who's watching, she said you're resilient, have lots of perseverance, and you're a wonderful lady. But, let's say Jessette wants to get the hard copy in her hand so that she can read it or download it and read the interview as well. That's what a transcriber would do, would be to type it up, right? Now,
yes, right.
Yourself?
If I do what?
Would you actually type it up yourself? Would you actually do it yourself?
All right, so when I just began back in 2015, I used to type up everything myself. So I used to be up late hours in the night. My arms used to kill me, but it's paid off. But I used to type everything myself. But now we have a lot of tools that type up the word for you, work for you, and all you have to do is proofread it. So you don't have to do a lot of typing anymore. But yes, you have to do some typing. Yes.
All right. So now you get the work in and you give it to other people and you pay them a percentage and you pocket the profits. That's what you're doing now.
Yeah, so now I've moved from just being a transcriber to having a transcription agency. And what I do is I hire persons to do the transcripts for me, and I make a profit from that. And by hiring them as well, I help them to start their own online business, right? And the cycle continues. They help somebody else, somebody else, somebody else, and yes, we're in the cycle.
Someone asked me when I was talking to you, what is the impact that you and the other transcribers that you now work with, and the course that you have, which is called Get Paid to Type, what's the impact of that been on Jamaica? And it's really hard to measure, but there are now so many people doing transcription and so many people who can, just like you can trace back your steps to one of our students, now so many people trace back their beginning to you. What would you say that if you could just quantify and talk about the impact just a little bit? I know it's hard, but just take a wild guess. What's the impact been?
All right, so I can't say the impact as in numbers, but I can say the impact as in the lives, how it has changed person's lives, right? So a person's messaging me and say thank you. They're able to stay home and take care of their kids. They're able to stay home and make money from online, right? They're able to quit their job. Some persons quit their job even within a month after starting the course, right? But not everybody, but some persons have done it. And it has been a total game change for a lot of persons, being able to stay from home and just make some money to help pay their bills, right? To take care of their kids. They have more freedom now because remember, you're your own boss. We have a lot of bosses rising as transcribers now, right? So being able to fire your boss and do your own thing, do your own online business, that's a good impact on Jamaica right there.
It
Plus
is.
you're making plus the best impact, of course, is you're making US dollars.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
making US dollars, which is so important, especially in the times that we're in right now. Leighton, let's talk about the times that we're in right now. As of the time that we're recording this, we're in the midst of a global crisis, right? People are losing their
Correct.
jobs. They've been sent home. And we're not just talking about Jamaica. We're not talking about the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about the US. We're talking about the impact all over the world, right? And so
Correct.
talk about that impact all over the world. Tell me, how have you been impacted as a transcriber? Are you still getting work coming in?
So I cannot say I've been impacted in any way. I don't know if I will be impacted time to come, but I'm still getting a lot of work. Like today, I get like over $150 worth of work, US dollars, of course. So I'm still getting in my regular jobs, but the impact that I'm seeing that this coronavirus has with freelancers is that the government has told a lot of persons that they need to stay home and work. And a lot of business are finding themselves online, right? So at the end of this impact, of course, there will be more businesses online. So there will be a need for more freelancers. A lot of businesses will realize that it's okay to be online, right? After this corona thing is over. So if there is any time to get into the online world, of course, it's now before it's too late.
It definitely is. And I love the fact that, you know, all the freelancers that I've spoken to have all said it's business as normal for them. In fact, some of them are getting more work if they're doing phone calls. Like right now, people are recording a ton of podcasts and doing a lot of content work.
Yeah.
So transcribers are getting more work, and you know, businesses are catching up or scrambling to find freelancers to get things done for them.
Exactly.
Lorette does graphic design, and you know, she posted about how she changed her offer online to say that she'll get the graphics done within 24 hours. And now she's swamped with work, more work than before, because people now want
Wow.
done for, you know, their pages because of the coronavirus, their opening hours, that kind of stuff. So I think the
Yes.
impact that it has had as well is that freelancers are going to see that they're so needed during these times, and that they're going to be grateful that they were freelancers, you know, that they learned, you know, before.
Yes.
But it's still not too late, because I know that a lot of people right now are joining your course. Talk a little bit about your course, and especially the Facebook group, so that people know about it. And while you're doing that, I'll type the URL to your course in the comments real quick.
All right. So I have a course, of course, with the help of Alicia. I have my first course, Get Paid to Type. So you can go to getpaidtotype.com. Course is only for $47. That's like 6,500 US dollars. So it's pretty cheap. So what the course teaches you about basically is how to be an expert transcriber, right? It teaches you about the ins and outs of being a transcriber, and how to set up your transcription business online to get persons from all over the world coming to you. So when you set up your transcription business, you won't actually be getting work from persons here in Jamaica, but all around the world. And that's why it's always awesome to be a freelancer, because you have people from America. So you have people from America, China, Japan, all around the world. Once you set up your business online, you are now global. You're not only international, you're global. All right. So, of course, our Facebook group. So once you buy the course, that's not it for you. We're going to be here to support you right for the rest of your life, because the Facebook group is not closing down. So once you're in the Facebook group, if you have any issues, you can come to the group. A lot of persons get their first jobs in the group, because once you have an overload, if I have an overload, if other transcribers have an overload as well, they'll come to the group and ask for persons to do the job for them, and they pay them. So being in the Facebook group is very important, and it's the best part of the the course.
It really is. And the great thing about it is it's only for people who've gone through the course. So you know that they
Yeah.
have the level of knowledge needed to be an expert transcriber. And So Leighton, just tell us about, just, we're talking a little bit about the investment for your course. It's really small, 47 US dollars. Let's put it in perspective. Tell me about your best month working online as a freelancer. How much did you make?
All right, so when I just did the course, it wasn't online yet, so I went in class, so I paid about $15,000. I made back that $15,000 in about 4 months or less starting the after starting my transcription business. But I've made so much more. My best month is over 4,000 US dollars, right? And on a regular basis, and on average, I make over 2,000 US dollars per month on average. So sometimes I calculate for the year. When I was working in the wholesale, I calculated for the year I made like $450,000. That's less than $500,000 Jamaican dollars. Now for the year I'm making like over $2 million. That's like we like the best investment ever.
It's a big difference. It's so significant that it's impacted your lifestyle so tremendously, right?
Yes.
I'm very proud of you. Now, I want to tell everybody watching that I know a lot of people are going to get your course. That's fantastic. So many, people, hundreds and hundreds of people have seen great success from your course. They are in the Facebook group and really active. But here's the thing. I just want to tell everybody, let's say you want to take on working from home, you want to get her course, get paid to type. The thing that you need to remember is that this is a business and you need to treat it like a business, right? So
Yes.
tell us some of the things that are required mindset wise and the things that we should do as a person to make sure that we're successful as not just a transcriber, but as an online entrepreneur and an online business owner.
All right, so the thing that I realized when a lot of persons, there are persons who do the course and think that once you go through the course, that's it. Money is just gonna keep falling to you like that. You have to have a specific mindset. You have to believe that you can do this. You have to put in the effort. Just like starting an offline business, your online business will grow slowly. Some persons are thinking that as soon as they start, they're going to start making $1,000 per month, $2,000 per month. No, my first month I made like $100, if so much. But I love I love that $100. But you have to come and know that it's a business and you're going to be building it from scratch, and it's going to take time to grow. Why? Because it's going to take time for people to know you, it's going to take time for people to recommend you to others. So you have to come with patience as well.
Right.
A lot of persons who give up is because they don't have the patience to wait. You have to be patient when building a business from scratch, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Patience, perseverance, and hunger, because you were hungry. I love when Les
Yes.
Brown says that. He's like, you
You
gotta
gotta
be
be
hungry.
hungry. Yes.
And when he
You
says
gotta
that,
be
you know,
hungry.
that comes from the inside. That's that strong desire inside of you to want something better for yourself, for your family, for the people that you love and care about. And it's that hunger that takes you to the next level. So really,
Mhm.
if you're building your online business, you need to find it deep within you, that desire, that hunger, that motivation, that excitement to push forward against all odds, to when the roof is leaking and you don't have enough money to pay for the class or get a laptop, that you figure it out, that you borrow. And when you borrow, what happens? You have to return it. So you then have even more of a why. Like, you knew that this worked. You heard that a ton of other people had been doing it. At that time, I've been working online for 15 years. I remember you. We talk about this all the time, right? When you came to class, this was Leighton in class. So quiet, didn't say a word. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
I'd be like, does anybody have any questions? You would be like, please don't ask me. Please don't ask me. Grabbing the side of the desk, right? Please don't ask me. But, you really grown so much. What did you say? You've really grown so much. You're an amazing young woman and doing amazing things, not just for yourself, but for the community and for other people. And that's where I really commend you. Yeah, you did great things for yourself and for your kids and for your family, But now with this course and the commitment that you make to everyone who takes this course, it's crazy. Like inside of your Facebook group, you don't have to do this, but you spend so much time hiring people, working with people, and now those students that you worked with, now they're hiring people and their students are hiring people. Like what we've built here in Jamaica just with transcription is transformational. It really is. And in the times that we're in now, I can see that the transcribers are excited and they're thankful and grateful that they're in the position that they're in right now, because without it, who knows where we would be. And here's the thing, I'm really calling on all freelancers right now to push it, like make that money, earn US dollars globally, bring it in Jamaica and spend it locally, because our economy is going to need us freelancers. Isn't that right, Leighton?
Yes, correct. And there's one more thing I wanted to mention, that in your journey as a freelancer, you have to know why. Why are you doing this? Because it's your why that's going to keep pushing you, because business will go up and business will go down. I remember at one point my business went way down. I went from back in 2015, at the start of 2000, at the end of 2016, I went from making over $1,000 a month to $300 a month. And I could not live off of $300 per month anymore, because I got used to making so much money back then, right? My head started hurting me. I started thinking all sort of stuff. And I did not give up on Fiverr. I said to myself, if I was making that money before, I can make it again. And you know what pushed me? My children. When I looked at them and I remember that I'm the one who's taking the most care of them and they need me, I decided that I'm going to go back to Fiverr and I'm going to make it work. And it's after I went back to Fiverr and make it work for me that I bought my land and house and stuff like that. So at that point right there, if I had just given up right there, I wouldn't have a land, I wouldn't have a house, I wouldn't have anything. So sometimes it's at the breaking point when we're about to break that we have to hold on and build up back. And you have to know why you're doing this. And my kids are always my why.
I feel like to sing amen. Good for you. And that is really important, because some people right now, they're at a point where they're panicking. They're not focused on building a business or learning something new, because they're in panic mode. They're staring at a wall and not knowing what the future holds. And I'm encouraging people, this is the time when you need to buckle down and learn something new. This is the time you need to say to yourself, I have what I need inside. Maybe I need a little bit more knowledge. Maybe I need a mentor. But, it's at these times when we need to come together as a community group and say, we can help each other. We can work together, for the greater good. And I think that that's going to be so important. We said that this was important, 7 years ago or 10 years ago. We've been doing this in Jamaica. It was important then, but today the relevance of it is shocking. I'm almost in disbelief every time I turn on the TV or watch, a press conference, whether it's the Prime Minister or Trump. You know what I mean? You watch it, like what's going on, and it's a really scary time. Lorette got a message today from a friend in Vegas, and she was saying the casinos are closed. Me and all of my friends and everybody I knew, we just all lost our jobs in one day. How am I going to survive? So Lorette had to give her some advice on, I think she sent her one of our courses, probably your course. And then, I read on Facebook a friend who said, my cousin in the hotel industry, unemployed, my brother unemployed, and a friend unemployed, all in one day. So people are going to feel it, and we need to really get a message out there to people. It's time for you to create your own opportunities, right?
Yes.
Don't wait for any government to give you a financial package because you lost your job. No, go out there and create your own opportunities. Stop waiting, right? And the only excuse I'll give people is that they didn't know. So they didn't know before that you can work for yourself online. They didn't have a mentor like you. So we'll give them that. But after they watch this video, they know. Guys, I don't care if I'm your mentor, Leighton's your mentor, you find another mentor, find a mentor, learn something new, and create your own opportunities. The internet provides us with the opportunities and the leverage to build our own businesses literally overnight. It provides us with the opportunity to turn our passions into profits. It provides us with the opportunities to really, spread our talent, share our messages, and really
So true.
go global just like that. Now, I know, Leighton, that you hire a lot of people here in Jamaica, and some of your first clients were Jamaicans, hiring you. But now, where do most of your clients come from?
All right, so most of my clients come from the US, of course.
Okay.
The US is very large. And then I have an export shop. We have I don't remember where's the next largest place, but the US is the largest where I get most of my clients from. But they're spread out globally, all over. Some places I can't even pronounce the name. I didn't even know they existed until they ordered from me. Yeah.
Right. And I would say that these countries that you're getting work from, you didn't hear of a lot of them before. Like, I remember we were going over in one of the classes the countries that your orders were coming from, and I'm like, where in the world is that country? I'm like, never heard of that country. We had to go to Google and map it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
So there are a lot of countries. I don't know their name, but they find us, and that's the great thing about Fiverr. They do a lot of marketing for us, so we don't have to really worry when we set up our online business with them because they market for us. It's the percentage they take is really worth it. Trust me,
it is really worth it.
that's
Um,
worth it.
So, Leighton, I'm just reading some comments on my other computer. Thalia said, I did the course and the test as well, and I set up my gigs on Sunday. So, what advice do you have for Thalia, someone who's just starting out? She just set up her gigs. Give her some advice.
All right, so persons who are just starting out, do some practice, do more and more practice, get yourself ready. It's better to be ready and never to get an opportunity instead of getting an opportunity and not be ready, all right? And
Right.
promote your gigs on a daily basis. You can promote on Twitter, you can promote on Quora, you can promote on Facebook, make some Instagram posts, just promote all over the internet. Because what happens is that when you promote your gigs and persons click on those gigs and go back to Fiverr sees that and it pushes you up in their algorithm, which makes it easier for other persons to find you. So promotion is very, very, very important. All right, so you start doing that.
Miss Wellington said, Leighton Price, you continue to inspire me. Keep doing what you do. Yes, the darkest hour is just before dawn. When you are at your lowest point, remember your why.
Yes.
Really good comment. Thalia said, thank God for Alicia for opening our eyes. I saw the ad on TVJ and I said it was a scam. Now here I am in freelancing. And I think that when people, let me ask you this question, Leighton. When people hear about working online and get paid to type, why do they think that it's a scam? Why is the first reaction, oh, that can't be true, it's a scam?
I think they think it's a scam because they think it's impossible to actually stay at home and make US dollars. They think once you get in some US dollars, you must be scamming somebody to get those US dollars. I have actual persons who have been to my business place and like are watching a video and they're watching me and they're like, you should stop telling the people lie, you're a scammer. And they just don't believe. So they still have that mentality.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like it's too good to be true, but it's not, because you're actually doing work in exchange for money. You're just doing it on.
Exactly.
I think the one thing though that's going to happen now, because everybody's been sent home to work, is that for a lot of people, are going to say, okay, I understand now what they're saying, because they're going to have on Zoom. They're going to be using some sort of online technology to communicate with the office, right?
Yes, yes.
People are just going to really look at it a little bit differently. So I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. I feel I'm never exhausted by it, but I feel like I've spent so much of my life telling people, look, there's opportunities out there for you. And I don't care about your age, I don't care about your race, I don't care about your educational level, I don't care about where you come from. To me, I know that the internet is a great equalizer, and I love hearing stories. The story that you have, Leighton, I love Sonia's story, seventh grade education, and to me, those stories are so inspirational, and that's why we do this, right? We always call this our passion business, but I always tell Lorette, I'm like, it's just a great thing that we've got the passion for teaching people how to work online. This is my 20th year working online, like you've got a lot of time to catch up on, right? You need to catch
Yes,
up.
I do.
Catch up.
Well,
But,
I'm 5 years in, so I'm coming.
you're coming for me. You're coming for me. But just as your mentor, there's no better thing for me than to see where you are today and for you to continue to grow and shine and have your course. And Avalala, who's watching this, helped you with your course as well. And, so many people have contributed so much to your growth. And we have a saying within our company, and that is that it's all of us or none of us. And you ring true to that saying by helping and training so many people. If you could encourage that person who's listening right now today, who's scared about the economy, scared about their future, that maybe they don't even think that they have what it takes to start their own online business, what would you tell them? What, give them some advice, talk to them right now in the camera, talk to them, because I guarantee you that there are a few people watching right now and that are going to be watching this replay that are just going to say, I'm scared. I'm not sure that I can even do that. They're paralyzed by fear and panic and anxiety. What do you tell them?
All right, listen, you've heard my story and you know how far I'm coming from. You know what I've been through. And guess what? We spend $6,500 buying shoes and clothes and all kind of foolishness on a daily basis. Why not just use $6,500 to just try and start a business, right? We buy expensive shoes and expensive clothes and brand stuff for $6,500 all the time. We do our hair for $6,500 all the time. So just invest in a business. Invest $6,500 is investing in you, right? And for those who are still scared, you think this is a scam? Trust me, it ain't a scam. You can watch my YouTube videos. If this was a scam, I would not even start a YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is based on working online, and getting into the online world. You can follow me on YouTube at Leighton Price, of course, right? You can always send me a message on Facebook if you're still in disbelief. A lot of persons are replying under this live. You can message those persons as well who have said they've started their business. This is real, right? Invest in yourself. I did it, and you definitely can do it too.
That's right. I think the thing that you said that was most important is, like, I wouldn't be putting myself out there if this wasn't real. And I'll say the same for myself from day one. Like, I think it was at the class that you were in, I was like, hey guys, just touch me. You can see that I'm real. My face is here. I'm putting so much into this. If it wasn't real, would I be out here putting my face to this and saying, I
know, right?
teaching you how to work online? But I guess people are like, yeah, well, we've seen, bad people do the same thing or something. Who knows? Trust me, I would not be putting my face out here and all this time and effort, and work into it if what we're teaching is not real. What we teach is real. It's working in exchange for money, but you have to want to do the work, right? The difference between people that are successful and people that are not successful is that the ones that are successful are committed, dedicated, and they have discipline. And they said from day one, I want to run a successful online business and I'm going to do it. I'm committed to doing it, and they will do whatever it takes to make sure that they reach their goals and that they're successful. That's the difference. Those who are not successful, they like, you know, like when you're sitting at a pool and you're going to go swimming and you just put one toe in to test the water. Those are the people who are
Yeah.
not successful. They put in one toe and they sit there and they don't go all in. The person that's successful is the one that runs around to the deep end, dives in and swims all the way across the pool, right? And says, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to dive in, right? I'm going to give all my energy to get through this, and I'm not going to give up. And your story about not giving up is really important to do too. People need to know that. Do not give up.
Plus, as you said, you've been here for 10 years now. The police would have must locked you up by now, right? You would have been in jail by now.
And one of the biggest compliments is we actually have police that come into our training all the time.
Yes.
You know, we have a police officer who's teaching English online. That's like the best story. But yes, that's true. That is true. And same for you, Leighton. You would be in jail. But I think the great part about it is that we also build community and it's a family.
Yes.
Leighton stayed at my house, and Sonia and Alvin, so many of our trainers and students, and it's because we love what we do. Trust me, Leighton does not need to sit here and do these interviews and train and teach people. She could be making her money in her house, not sharing because she doesn't. But we're different. I mean, this is how we're built. I went to university, I was working on a PhD, and I dropped out because making money on the internet is what I love to do. And I wanted to become a professor, but I always say I'm just a professor of a different kind. I just, teach people how to build a business instead of environmental policy, instead of teaching them how to save the planet and hug trees, I teach them how to hug the money. All right, Leighton,
Money professor.
a comment that has come in from Thalia. She says, right now I'm not sure if I'm going to have a job 2 months from now. So I came across internet income. I invested my money and here I am waiting for my first order. So this girl, Thalia, you need to make sure that you're in the group and look for someone who's asking for transcribers to work for them and take that as your first work. And make sure that you really practice.
Yes.
So I want to answer this one, but I'm going to let you answer this one as well. Do you believe that with so many persons now being sent home to work and persons also looking for opportunities to work online, do you believe that the field will become saturated or overpopulated?
The skill will not become saturated or overpopulated. Why? Because all those persons who are looking to work online, their businesses the businesses that they used to work at will be going online as well.
Right.
So I always say for every 2 persons that come online, probably 2 businesses come online looking for them to work for them. So the market will never, ever be saturated. Never. I do not have that mindset. Whatever you believe, you will receive. Don't think like that, all right?
Like that. It's weird. It's like the more transcribers that we bring online, the more work that we get. I remember every time we teach a class, you get your biggest orders.
Yes. It's like the more persons that come online as a transcriber is the more jobs I get. Because before so many transcribers were online, I used to make like 1,000, 2,000 a month. Then I started sharing my transcription knowledge and I'm making 3,000, 4,000. So the more persons that come online, it's not saturated. I don't see it like that in any way, shape, or form.
And the thing is right now is that, entrepreneurs are going to try to get their books written. They're going to try to get their podcast transcribed. They're going to be blogging. So the transcription field is just going to skyrocket right now. So, Shane, I'm going to give you the link to Leighton's course. So if you join it, you can get in the Facebook group and chat with her there. Dwight says that you gave him his first order online. So he is giving you a shout out. Also,
hey, Dwight.
You have Tasha Lee who said that you gave her first order on Fiverr as well.
Hey, Tasha.
So, yeah, awesome there. Let me see what else we've got here. All right. Well, if anybody else has any more questions for Leighton, you can type them into the question or type them into the comment box really quickly. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. You can definitely find Leighton online at getpaidtotype.com. That's getpaidtotype.com. That's her course. I'm so proud of you for putting out this course. And Leighton, I expect that you'll have a lot of students signing up for your course soon, a lot of people signing up because they're home and they're going to be looking for an opportunity to
Yes.
live. So I look forward to you, you know, seeing an influx of new people coming in that you will also hire to do work for you and will make this world a better place and help out a lot of people. I'd also like to say that for the price they're paying for your course, it's so small compared
Yes.
to earn, because people who signed up for the course 2 years ago are still getting support and jobs. It's ridiculous. Like there's no charge for ongoing support. There probably should be because there's a lot that goes into it, but there's no charge for it. It's like such a minimal investment.
It is.
Price, but it's such a minimal investment that people are making to earn, you know, the potential is so great for it. So Leighton, leave us with some final words. I just mean final words for this interview. Leave us with some, you know, what do you want to say to people who are considering following in your footsteps, and especially in the times that we're in right now, you know, what would you like to say to people? You've got the mic.
All right, the first thing I want to say to you guys is jump on over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, I'm doing it. You can do it too. I've been where you are now. You can be where I am now. I'm writing my story. It's time for you to write your story. The next couple of years, you can be telling your story like I'm now, and your story is what makes you different. It's not what people say that makes you different. It's what you've been through that makes you different. And don't build it to yourself. Don't let anyone build it to you. Just you look into yourself and decide what you want to do, where you want to be, and how you're going to do it, and make the move. Now, you cannot reach anywhere if you don't move. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. And the time to get started is now.
Thank you so much for that, Leighton, and for you listening to this. I'm going to ask you to just do two things. One, share this interview. Let's motivate and inspire, you know, our country. We say our country in Jamaica, but share it globally. This story really needs to get out there. Leighton is such an inspiration, and she's so willing to tell her story that it's now your duty to share the story. And then mention someone in the comments who really needs to hear this. So those are the two things that I want you to do. Let's continue to motivate and inspire our nation and the world. Thank you so much, Leighton, for all that you know, all that you give to this world. And I know on behalf of all of the men and women that you help and the families that down to and the economy that it impacts, you know, thank you for your contribution to making the world a better place. I love you so much. Thank you for, you know, being you, and continue to push on. Give your kids a kiss for me, and we'll chat on WhatsApp later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody. Love you guys. Share it. Bye.
Bye.